Those kind of makes me laugh. Like watching watching Rad wrestle Damage. I go, damn, Rad was so fucking skinny back then.
Yeah, he really was. He was fucking tiny boy.
Yeah. Have you got a chance to check out this thing called Clubhouse by the Reds? It's like a Red Sox thing on Netflix.
No.
This actually looks somewhat decent. Yeah. Ah.
Matt, I saw this like fucking 3 weeks ago. Fucking Z Chang.
Oh, he sent you something?
Yeah, you hear
He
about
sent me
that
something too.
fucking guy in Philly that was like, "Oh, the mayor's a Cowboys fan."
Yeah, I saw like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he just sent it to me. I was gonna be like, "Yeah, dude." I'm
Oh,
just not even replying.
I don't. Sometimes some of the shit I don't even respond to him.
No, have to. I'm like, I've already seen
Yeah, he's just late to the party.
it. Man, you're
Fucking late to the
fucking
party.
8 weeks
I
late,
don't know.
bro.
If I see something, yeah, you have to be like ahead. You have to be ahead. Twitter's just like boom, 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 so you can see shit like.
Yeah. Where do they have Makuba going? Third.
They have a Nick Anamwari as some of these motherfuckers have him as the number one safety on the board.
Yeah, he's going first. Everything I look at.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Get ready. It's 5 o'clock, motherfucker. Let's go.
Jesus Christ.
My man's late over here. You ready?
Yeah, no, I was looking at something. All right, I'm ready.
Now recording. Let's go. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise I ain't make it then. In their heads, living free, I ain't paying rent. Wake up in the AM, making G's like Mercedes Benz. Whoa, yeah, please don't take offense. It isn't you, I'm just not interested in making friends. My biggest fear is finding out that this came and went. So go ahead, but I'm staying in. Okay, drop a song and pop up on your.
It is Inside Eagles Redzone podcast here live on Thursday, April 10th, 2025. Tarek Williams, joined as always by Matt Namo. Matt, what's going on?
Dude, the pots aren't working. Me six ain't working. Maki ain't working.
I got the bot. Your bots are going crazy. I got information, announcements. It came up like,
Good. Did it ping
I don't know what's
twice?
going
Good.
on. Yeah.
Because it didn't come through on my end, so fuck them. Tagged everybody. It's a beautiful Thursday. We're getting closer to the draft. We got safeties to dive into today. So, hey,
You got what, 14 days? You got what, 14 days till the draft, I think?
That's right.
Yeah. So we'll get into that in a few minutes. But Matt, we had a conversation off air, and we were just kind of shooting the breeze when it comes to NFL teams. Matt, who would you consider like going into this offseason? We haven't even did the draft yet. But who would you consider the worst team in the NFL?
There's three. It is the three teams are the two teams in New Jersey. That's the New York Jets and the New York Giants and the Tennessee Titans. I see a plan for the Giants, and they have a little bit of talent. The Jets have some talent. So I think just by default, it would have to be the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, dude. I was like looking at like their roster, and I'm just like I can't even lie to you, Matt. Like it is
The roster's bad.
dog. It's dog crap. It's absolute dog crap. I don't like. They're going to draft what, the third quarterback in so many years.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think. If I'm Tennessee, you're not a quarterback away, and if we're being honest, okay, they're going to draft Cam Ward. You're doing Cam Ward a disservice, and you're doing a franchise a disservice drafting Cam Ward number 1 overall. Because unless he becomes God or Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes' love child, he's not saving that franchise. You have like 2 pieces on the offensive line. Your defense needs an overhaul. You just wasted a second-round pick on Will Levis 2 years ago and gave him nothing. And you just said, okay, we've seen enough out of him. So now let's go put Cam Ward there. If I was Tennessee, I'd trade the number 1 pick, drop down 4 spots, recoup more assets, and then you can start building a team. You know you're going to be bad anyway. You're going to be bad whether you draft Cam Ward or not. So why not go get your quarterback next year where the class is better and get some more talent for your team to round up? And I think the problem is, and you've seen it if you listen to a lot of your sports, your writers and everything along with this draft. They will talk about how this draft class isn't good because there's not a lot of quarterbacks and a lot of wide receivers. Where if you talk to the football guys, and while they don't think this draft is like elite, but they go, if that certain positions, if you want defensive line, whether that's edge rusher, interior defensive line, standard old school for defensive end, some safeties, there's a drop off at linebacker, there's a handful of good cornerbacks. Like there's talent in this draft, but it's not quarterback heavy and super wide receiver heavy. So you get guys like, oh, this draft class isn't great. I think so many teams, so many fan bases, everyone that's looking at this, again, kind of what we talked about last year. Everyone's so infatuated with the quarterback that they just want to get the quarterback and they go, okay, everything's going to be good. No, dude, Tennessee's going to be drafting another quarterback in 3 or 4 years at this point. Because, one, do you have the coaching for that quarterback to be good? Which I saw Will Levis be able to play a little bit his rookie year. He fell off a cliff last year. And look at the talent around him. Now, okay, if Cam Ward shows you a couple good things throughout this year, then just go balls out and spend, and put money and put talent around the kid next year, then you might be okay. Has Tennessee proven to be able to do that? I don't think so. I don't think they have the coaching to do it. I don't think they have the front office to do it. So to me, you should be, hey, let's sacrifice the number 1 pick and try to recoup more assets. That way we can get more people. You could build a defense in this draft. Realistically, you could build a defense in this draft.
Yeah.
Tennessee's going to go to look to a quarterback, and then Cam Ward's going to go out there and have nothing.
Yeah,
you're going to have Tony Pollard and Calvin Ridley. Woo!
Yeah,
I don't like how a lot of these teams. Like I called out Carolina a year ago. I think them hiring Dave Canales kind of helped start them. I think they're in the right direction. Because they got a coach that they realize, hey, we're not going to be good for 3 years. But now we got a quarterback-friendly coach. Let's see if he can do it. And now they are understanding, like, hey, we kind of got to just keep adding pieces. Then hopefully by the time Bryce Young's ready to step into his prime, the supporting cast around him will be good. And with Tennessee, this started, honestly, not even just because we're an Eagles show, but honestly, it started the night they traded A.J. Brown to the Eagles, and it's just gone downhill ever since.
Yeah. No, it's like, I mean, we're talking about it off air. You let Derrick Henry walk for nothing.
Yeah, they didn't want to pay him. I think even more so than that, though, you had Vrabel. And to me, Vrabel did a good job with having Ryan Tannehill as his quarterback. And yes, they paid Ryan Tannehill. But, this is what teams do that make zero sense to me. You need a quarterback. And Tannehill proved to you. You're not winning a Super Bowl with Tannehill. But if the coach goes to the GM and goes like, we need A.J. Brown to stay. Like, he's the focal point of our pass game. We just need a younger quarterback and to, like, retool the offensive line and keep building the defense. And the GM responds to that by trading the best wide receiver away. And then the team falls apart. The coach leaves. And now look where you are. And that team was old to begin with. And now it's still kind of old and a lot less talented. You just can't get out of your own way, but it's all stuff that they brought upon themselves.
How much of that do you blame on ownership at that point? Like, is that like
it's
90%?
I mean, it's
ownership?
more on the GM. I don't know how their front office works. I don't know or do they have a hands-off owner? Where it's, hey, you're my football,
the woman,
my football
Bud
people,
Adams
do it.
It's Bud Adams' daughter. At the end of the day.
But like at the same time, you're putting your people, like to me, whether it's anything is honestly the only three owners that I could blame for the success or failure of the team is Jeffrey Lurie, Jerry Jones, and Robert Kraft. I don't know what Benedict Arnold is out there in Washington. I don't know yet. The Giants owner is whatever. I think they have more GM problems than anything. But realistically, whether you're the owner or not, the GM's the one running your football operations.
Right.
So unless the owner is like involved, like I know those guys that I named are, it's kind of hands off. Like Dan Snyder, he was the fourth guy that you knew because he was heavily involved. He's gone. I don't know what the other guy does.
You didn't even mention the name. Are you not?
No.
Are we not?
I know we can't run a basketball team. I know it took them 20 years to turn the hockey team into a playoff team. But other than that, I don't know.
I love the Joe showing his video
That's right.
I don't know what's going
Joe's
on.
probably working.
Joe is working. I see something. Joe.
What up,
I see
Joe?
Joe's head. There's Joe. I don't hear Joe, but we see Joe. And now everybody sees Joe's face and immediately loses the shit.
It's just
Joe. Okay. But yeah, I mean, some of these owners are just very. I don't know. I felt like we had this conversation last year with owners.
Yeah. I mean, it really comes down to: do you have a plan? Do you have a general manager that can help execute your plan? I think a lot of GMs are idiots.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Here's the thing. And we've said it 100 times about Howie. Joe, it is A-OK, my brother. It is
It's funny as hell. That was pretty funny.
We've said it 100 times about Howie Roseman. These guys all want to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
If you just trust your gut, trust your scouts, trust your coaching staff, and pick what do we need? Is there a player here that fits? I need that. This is our need, and I like the player. If those two match, take the player. If you step back and go like, okay, well, we're looking at Tennessee. They might go, I think we need a quarterback. I like Cam Ward. Like, to me, quarterback is the only position where that shouldn't cross unless you love the quarterback. Love the quarterback. Because you've seen it's a very important position. You can build a team, but if you don't have that quarterback that can get it done, and this is a little intricacy about football, you need the quarterback to get you over the top. But you do yourself a disservice at the same time if you don't have enough and put the quarterback in there. Like, let's look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm still super high on Trevor Lawrence. I get it. There's people that are not, he might not be as good as he probably could have been. But Jacksonville has been a shit team forever. They draft him there. They kind of miss on everything else. And then you get people that go, oh, Trevor Lawrence is a bust. Oh, Trevor Lawrence this, Trevor Lawrence that. Where hasn't really been given enough tools to let that pan out, to blossom into that. Let's go to the Chiefs. No one had Patrick Mahomes going, 12 overall? Yeah. I don't think I saw any mock have Patrick Mahomes go 12. Chiefs had a playoff team. They had a playoff quarterback. Alex Smith, they're winning 11 games every year. Cool. And he goes, no, I like our team. I get this guy and coach him. We might have something special. Yeah, he's the next Tom Brady. You look at what the Eagles did with Ginger, what the Eagles have done with Jalen Hurts. They saw, oh, look, hey, we like what Hurts can do. We don't have enough around him. Let's go get A.J. Brown. Let's keep building the offensive line. Then you saw, okay, we made the Super Bowl. We got close and didn't make it. Let's go add Saquon Barkley. Let's keep drafting these guys from big schools on defense. There's ways to go about it, but it should be, if you're going into a draft, we have this need. We like this player. They both cross. Let's take him and build it. Both the quarterback, I think you need to love the player, because if you just okay. We like this guy. We're number one. We need to pick a quarterback. Guess what? You're gonna be number 5 in 4 years and probably taking another quarterback.
Yeah.
It's like what Arizona did with Kyler Murray. They were 10th. They draft Josh Rosen. Shouldn't have gone that early. It took them 1 year to go like, oh shit, guess what? We really didn't like this guy, but we needed a quarterback. Guess what? Now we need a quarterback again. But we're the number 1 overall pick. Now we got Kyler Murray. And Murray's been okay. Kind of peaked year 2 and kind of fit, and he's been okay. They're another team. What are they? It's kind of like, what do you want to be? Do you want to cross the need and build the team so you can be a Super Bowl contender? Or do you want to be like, we have our quarterback. We're still only winning 7 games a year. Great. That's cool. Oh, guess what? Now you got to pay that quarterback $250 million. We're not going to be able to build the team. But we got our quarterback. It's these GMs try to be way too smart. Way too smart for their own good.
Yeah, so, I was gonna say we both said the same
ding,
time.
Ding, baby, ding, ding, ding.
All right, let's get into the NFL draft. We're at what 75 after today. Will be what 75 players we've looked at.
Yes, sir.
So which one do you want to start with?
I'm gonna start with Nick Emenwari from South Carolina. Projected on a lot of boards, he's going to be your number 1 safety taken in this year's draft class, and you're going to get a good player. He's got ridiculous side and speed combination. He's 6'3", 222 pounds, ran a 4.38 40. He's a junior. Kind of your prototypical man zone safety. Maybe in slot situations, you'd want him to be that high safety. Think he plays very well running downhill in the run game and against screens. He's got good play recognition, good coverage skills, very good ball skills. The size leads to a little bit of hip tightness. He can struggle against shifty receivers in man coverage. He's an average zone coverage safety, and he can get a little loose with his coverage technique while he's contesting passes. But he's a playmaker, elite downhill runner. He's not afraid to play the run. I like him for that. I think the size and speed combination, especially for a modern day safety, is kind of what puts him over the top to a lot of these, draft experts and guys that really watch and study the draft. Think you can utilize him all over the field. He likes to keep his eyes on the quarterback and the ball carrier. So that's it. That's a little benefit, a little positive and a negative, because obviously if you let a quarterback manipulate you with his eyes, he's going to cook you all day long. But you're getting a very fundamentally sound football player with elite traits. I love this play right here. Keeps his eyes focused on Milrow while he's running, makes the tackle, and you got a guy that played against very good competition, very good short area closing speed, quick burst, good tackler. You're getting a very fundamentally sound all-around safety, especially in the first round. That's exactly what you'd be looking for.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's very. I think a lot of these people are kind of mocking him at 32.
Yeah, I've seen him there. I've seen him a little higher, really around that 20 to 32 range. I've seen, especially recently in these mock drafts. I think if he gets drafted at 32, I don't think it's by the Eagles.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I just don't think they draft a safety at 32.
Athleticism-wise, out of what you've seen, you think he's the most athletic?
Yeah, yes. With that size, the next guy we're going to go to, Malachi Stark's very athletic as well.
Yeah, I like Malachi
But
Starks a
dude,
lot.
6'3", 220, and that fast, and with that good proper technique, like that's this guy is 6'3", playing safety. You'd probably think around like a little over 4'5". Like they clocked Starks at 4'5". So to get a guy that fast, he's a home run threat every time he gets his hand on the ball. I think the athleticism is top tier, especially for a safety.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of, and you talk about athletes at the safety position. I think he was one of them that they had all over the place.
Yeah, him and Malachi Starks. Let's just transition right into Malachi Starks. But him and Malachi Starks, to me, are the two safeties that really would give a defensive coordinator flexibility. When you're talking about Malachi Starks, another junior, but you're looking at 6'1", 197 pounds. Clocked him at a 4.5 for the 40 time. He's a guy, though, a lot of snaps in the slot, a lot of snaps in the box. Very high football IQ player. I think, to me, why I like him a little more than Nick is seeing the man coverage and the zone coverage in the slot and just that flexibility that can provide an NFL defense. If you want to put him and man in the slot, he can do it. If you want him to play zone in the slot, he can do it as well. The one big negative I have with him, and you can see it throughout the highlight tape, is he beats receivers to contact, but those are plays that will get flagged in the NFL. I would not shock me if he is highly penalized. Like right here, this play when they show you the other angle, he's making. They don't show it there, but he makes contact with receivers early. So if he could tone that down and kind of improve that timing, I think you got an elite guy. But quick enough to get pressure off the edge. He can play the slot. He can play high safety. Another very intelligent, quick processing, high football IQ player out of Georgia. No shock there. But I really like him. He's my favorite safety, especially just with that positional flexibility. Could end up playing slot corner in nickel situations, or he could.
That's what I was. Yeah,
and play standard.
Flexibility is like the big. Yeah, flexibility is like the big word that you're going to hear with these safeties, I think.
And especially your good safeties, and especially how they would fit if they were drafted by Philadelphia. You kind of have seen how Vic likes to have guys be a little flexible with their potential positions. Starks could fit right in there. I don't think the Eagles would have a chance to draft him. But he is my number one safety.
Yeah, he's very, very athletic. Yeah, he's and a bulldog.
Yeah, Georgia, nice touch. I mean, the top two guys are SEC guys, which you love to see. Yeah, but he kind of quarterbacked that secondary last year. I love the high football IQ. I'm all about getting smart football players. And
what did you say last year? What did you say last year about the SEC? What did you say to GMs last year? Do you remember?
Draft them. Draft the SEC. If you want athletes, draft from the SEC. If you want big-bodied MFers that know how to play football, you draft from the Big Ten. Yeah. Very rare, I mean, not rarely, but And then the rest of the conferences is a handful of guys that are sprinkled in that can freaking play. But you should, if you want offensive linemen, you want big, hefty, run-stopping defensive linemen, go to the Big Ten. If you want freak athletes that can do everything, go to the SEC. There's a reason these programs, year after year after year after year after year after year after year, are so damn good. Yes, they have 5-star talent, but look what they produce. You want a guy that can quarterback your secondary? Because here, the thing that gets talked about a lot, or that doesn't get talked about enough, especially in the secondary, is the relationship and the conversations that the cornerbacks and the safeties have pre-snap. It's vital. I know he's not here anymore, and I know a lot of people hated him, but Darius Slay, you saw a lot in 2023 when Darius Slay was kind of getting cooked, in parentheses. He's looking back going, where's my safety help? Where's my safety help? And he had my now unhated, but you had Reed Blankenship standing back there with the dumb look on his face going, I don't know what I'm supposed to do because I'm an idiot. Well, that's why. That relationship and that conversation is important. You get Nick, you get Malachi, you're getting guys that understand the damn game of football. It's not that difficult, but that's a big aspect of playing safety, especially at the NFL level. Now, when we get to Xavier Watts, I don't expect him to stay at F4 on the Matt Nemo safety board. 6 foot, 204 pounds, ran a 4.56 40. He's a senior. He's projected to go middle of the second round. Pretty good play recognition, very explosive in downhill pursuit. He can play single high and box safety with ease, and he battles through contact to pass coverage. He over pursues in the run game. He needs a refinement in tackling and in man and in zone. I don't see a high enough level of athlete out of him. He played pretty well in college, but I don't know. There's something about him that I don't necessarily like. He's a dog. Like he plays hard. He plays his ass off, and he's got a good football IQ. But there's just a lot of I don't think he's a guy you really expect to see on the field a lot early in his career. And like a lot of these turnovers, he forced a fumble, but these interceptions that you're seeing, a lot of it's off tip balls, bad throws, and him being in the right place at the right time. So to me, nothing like overly impressive with him.
I was going to say probably year 2. You think he could develop?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, he's a guy that, to me, that's going to really have to rely on playing special teams early and then hopefully getting a shot.
That's okay as a second-round pick.
Yeah, for sure.
As a second-round pick, yeah.
But, yeah, if you're looking second round, third round, yeah, that's a fine selection. But especially just compared to the other two, and I like Makuba a little bit, so I just think there's a little bit of a drop off there.
Yeah, and athleticism-wise, he's not the most athletic.
No. Let's see. Excuse me. No, he tested really low in all of his 35-inch vertical. That's okay. 40 okay. Small hands, small arms. Only 6 foot. To me, he's 6 foot and ran a 4.56. You kind of like him to be quicker, especially only 204 pounds. I just think those small things like that can be a difference maker at the next level. And our last one for today, Andrew Makuba out of Texas. 5'11", 186 pounds. He's a senior. Ran a 4.45. It's a solid player here. He's projected to go in the third round. Very explosive athlete with elite speed and change of direction. Shows exceptional processing speed and zone coverage. Very good at jumping underneath routes before quarterbacks can release the ball. Versatile chess piece who's logged significant snaps at deep safety in the box and slot. So we talked about positional versatility with Malachi Starks. You're getting that with Makuba. Very fluid hip transitions, so he can flip and run with receivers without losing speed. Very good ball skills. Very good at tracking deep balls. He gets his hands up at the right time. High football IQ. Takes pretty good pursuit angles in the run. But 190 pounds. You kind of fear, depending where he is. I'm just looking at it like if, say, he were playing against the Eagles, they'd run right at him. I could see whoever they have at tight end getting out there, pulling guards, pulling tackles. When you get to that second level, could be a little bit easier of a block. He can lose leverage containment, trying to make the splash play over the right play. I think he needs to add weight and get stronger to play against bigger wide receivers and tight ends at the NFL level. And while he has the great pursuit downfield, he kind of likes to go ankles. He wants to be an ankle tackler and not always, tackle upright and at the waist. But I think that I think this is why I like him more than Notre Dame. Oh yeah, what is it?
We have Eagles breaking news. According to Ian Rappaport, the Eagles have agreed to terms with wide receiver Terrace Marshall Jr.
Can't body.
Can't
Can't body.
Yep.
Just
I was high on him.
I saw he's not here. The Justin Simmons stuff I could see, but I don't see it till after the draft. If they don't draft the safety, I could see Simmons coming in. I think if Makuba was there later rounds, he could potentially be a fit for the Eagles with that positional versatility. But yeah, I think the athleticism's great. He needs to get a little bit bigger and needs some refinement. But I do like him more than Watts.
Yeah, no, I like all four of them for different reasons. Who's your number one?
I got Starks. I got Starks slightly ahead over Mr. Nick. And then it would go so Starks, Eamon Wari, Makuba, and Xavier Watts.
Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
I think Watts is going to struggle. Not overly athletic, the small size, traits like that, and seeing tape and seeing a lot of his success comes from being at the right place at the right time. Like, that's great if he can capitalize off of bad plays, but every safety is capable of doing that. I didn't see anything where he made bad plays happen. Or I think you're getting an elite athlete with Makuba, elite athlete and very smart football player with Starks and Eamon Wari, and those guys just even have more plays, smarter, all around, better fits for success at the next level.
So my question to you is over this process of 75, looking at 75 guys through this draft process. My question to you, and this is maybe a two-parter. What have you learned from this process of looking at these players? And ultimately, and I'm kind of throwing you off, throwing you, for just kind of on the fly. Taking Travis Hunter off of that board, who would be your top three? That's a starter.
Okay, so no Travis Hunter. Or actually, let's do what I learned first.
Yeah. Besides the fact that Matt Namo is very tired and exhausted.
Yes, looked at a lot of tape. I think... Oh, that's actually a good question. I think what I've learned is, and it's kind of what I've known, but looking at a player, looking at their profile, looking at their stats, and then watching tape, and then when you watch games, and I don't mean this negatively, I think the college game and the NFL game are almost too different. And
we've talked about this before
yes.
on this podcast. This is something that hasn't been not talked about. But you've talked about it more in quarterback. I think we even did that. The quarterback having the quarterback problem,
and it ties in together because some of these guys, especially on defense, some of these guys I love, but they're kind of able to look better because of the college game being so different from the NFL. And I really think it would benefit football as a whole if college adopted NFL hash marks.
Do you think that's a possibility? Or you think that would never happen?
No, probably not. If they haven't done it by now, I don't know why they would, but I think they should. I just think, and also, well, to me, it ties in with the hashes. You're able to, like, some of these college offenses are, like, realistically, they're stupid. It's all just spread everybody out. We'll get this guy in space, and then blah, 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 boom, here you go. Have at it. Like, look what Ohio State did this year. Hey, look, we have two running backs that are probably more athletic than half of your defense. And look at this freak out wide receiver we have, and he's a freshman. Oh, and you still got Ibuka, who is an NFL wide receiver already. He's still there. We're just going to spread you out, get rid of the ball quick, and then see if you can make tackles. If you can't tackle, we're gonna run up and down the field on you all day long. And just the fact with, yep, Joe, you're exactly right. That's exactly what Oregon did. Well, hey, we got a track team. We're gonna space you out to death. Good luck playing coverage. Good luck playing zone coverage. Good luck playing man for 5 seconds. If you can't get to the quarterback. Now, I think defensive line. I think you can. It's, to me, it's not easy to spot talent, but like you can see guys with the size, physical traits, and stuff that that should translate to the next level. But I think for like some of these positions, like safety, corner, linebacker, like linebacker, love Jahad Campbell, love Michael Williams. They're guys that are asked to play 3 different positions. Like, do you look at him as an edge rusher? Do you look at him as an in the box safety? The in the box safeties in college, unless they've shown the ability to rush the passer off the edge, they kind of get knocked down. Because the college game of what's a box linebacker, okay, here and there and everywhere. Like, I just think the way the college game is played is so different. And it affects those quarterback, cornerback, linebacker, and even some safety. Now, my top 3 players. That's a good question. Let me just take a little peek.
And I have another question for you then when you finish this.
Let me just take a peek. Okay, so I think overall, I would go Abdul Carter 1. I think I'd go Mason Graham. And I think I'd have to go Michael Williams. I loved him. I think those would be my top 3.
So you would, and then you would probably it would probably be Hunter, Carter, Mason Graham, if you could put.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter.
Yep.
Okay. So no offense in that top.
Well, Travis Hunter is 3, is 1.
Yeah.
Because I think he can play both at a very high rate at the NFL.
Right.
But if you're looking at this receiver, to me, if you're looking at this receiver class, I like Ibuka, but to me, Ibuka's second half of the draft.
What about T-Mac?
I'd go second half of the draft. And I know we've said it. He reminds me of Mike Evans, but not as athletic as Mike Evans. And I know he ran better, but seeing what Mike Evans did in the SEC and what he's done his whole career, I just don't think he's tested that well, or at the combine. But and I like Ibuka, but I know even though you like Ibuka, I know you've kind of said he's a number 2. He's a natural number 2.
Yeah.
And I think
I think on a bad team he's a number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, on a solid team he's a number.
Yeah.
He's a number 2.
But if you were to go to Houston,
I could be wrong. I could be. At the NFL level,
definitely.
I could be wrong.
I see more of a number 2. He's not. I think if you look at wide receivers, especially if you look at quarterbacks, I don't think these guys. Some of these guys might be fringe starters.
I was gonna say that would you if and I don't I'm not asking you on the fly to put a top 20 list. Would you put any of these quarterbacks into a top 20?
No.
Okay, so they're not even.
To me, the bulk of that top 20 would be defensive linemen.
Yeah, you probably get about half.
Yeah, more than likely, honestly, and then.
Yeah.
I like a couple of the offense linemen, but I think like I said when we covered them, I think you get a lot of guards out of this class and not a lot of tackles.
I like Josh Simmons.
I
we did the offensive tackles, and I went back and watched Josh Simmons, and I think a lot of teams are kind of afraid because of he has the patellar.
Yeah.
sort of injury.
But yeah, I like
I
Simmons.
think 2 to 3 years, yeah, down the road, he's a
Yeah.
guy who could be a very good offensive tackle.
Like why I like this draft so much is just yes, you might not get this draft might not have 6 Hall of Famers, but I think you're going to get I think you can get guys 3-4 rounds in, especially on the defensive line, where you're going to get productive pieces. They might not be Pro Bowlers, All Pros, but you've kind of seen the importance of having guys that are that like second, third tier of player, and how much they can benefit you having a lot of those guys on the team instead of having like an All Pro and then having slop. But yeah, to me, this isn't an offensive draft. Oh, I do like the running backs. You know what? Genty would probably.
I was going to say you were. It's like 5. Would you put him 5
yes,
at the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost discounted the running backs, but yeah.
I was going to say you really liked the running backs when we did the show.
Yeah. This is a draft where defense, running backs, some tight ends.
And you were kind of okay with the tight end. You were okay with Warren and.
I like Warren. I like Loveland. Fannin, pretty solid. There's probably a couple other guys, but
defensive line and tackles and defensive tackles.
Edge rushers, defensive line in general, three rounds deep.
Yeah,
and it might hurt some of those guys, pocket wise, but.
I was gonna say it might push some of these defensive it might push some of these defense. That was something I wanted to tell you that earlier, but it might push some of these guys where maybe in years past a guy might have been a 3rd round pick, but because this defensive line class is so deep that maybe the defensive line gets pushed up into the 2nd round. I know I've been hearing a lot of these these kind of these sites saying, "Oh, the quarterbacks are going to go in a run in quarterback, round 2." Well, nobody knows until the draft. You know what I mean? I think the possibility of some of these defensive tackles, maybe there's a bunch that go in round 1, and then maybe there's a ton more going in round 2 because maybe it's like, okay, well, we want that. And sometimes it's all about the money. Hey, I don't feel like I value it this person at this slot bonus or whatever. It could be something stupid as that. You never know.
And I think with knowing defensive line in general is so deep, you might get to the 2nd round and be like, I could draft this defensive lineman here. Say you're looking at the Eagles. It's round 2. Let's just say they traded out of 32 and drop back. And let's say you have. Let's just put Starks, Colston Loveland, and then a handful of defensive linemen. You might look at your board and go, okay, we have Loveland and Starks here. The defensive lineman might be second. Just say the lineman's 2nd on your board. And then, but you're going, oh, this defensive lineman that's 5th on our board, he might not go. Do I need to get this? What's the drop off between the defensive linemen that if we don't draft him here, our next pick with who will be available, who we think will be available, what's the drop off? If there's not a lot of drop-off, you're going to take that tight end or the safety because after, Starks isn't going to get back to us. If we don't take him now, what's the drop off between Starks and then the next best safety available? Oh, okay, it's steep. All right, sorry, defensive lineman, we really like you, but we're gonna take the safety here because I know in round 3 I can get another defensive lineman that I like that might be a little bit worse than you. I feel like that might hurt the defensive lineman just because it's so deep.
Well, and like the other thing that I kind of wanted to bring to your attention and see what you kind of felt on this, but so like if you look at whoa, what the hell? Like if you look at the board, like as like it starts, right? So you have Tennessee at 1, Cleveland at 2, the Giants at 3, Patriots at 4, Jags at 5, 6, Vegas, the Jets, and the Panthers at 8. My whole thing with some of these teams, Matt. So you have Carolina, right? So they sit at 8, right? Barring a trade, their next pick would be 57. So they have to kind of say, okay, well, we have the top 50 to kind of browse over. Where there might be, like Philadelphia has 32 and 64, so their range is kind of higher.
Yep.
Where they can kind of look at, okay, well, and we've talked about it. We don't think Philly goes at 32, but if you really like, there's some interesting teams that you could. Let me look at this. So the Rams. For example, the Rams have pick in the first round, pick 26. Then they don't pick unless they trade a pick or players. They don't pick till 90. So that Rams pick, that could be where you might go, oh, why would they pick that person at 26 where he could have been available? Well, then you look at, okay, well, they didn't have a pick till 90. Could that player drop all the way to 90? You know what I mean? Yep. They could draft a guy at the 50th, 50th overall person. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. No, yeah, I think you're exactly right about that.
And
so
it's just,
do we have to take this guy here because look at this range between our selections, or it's different if you're able to acquire more in between there and kind of help yourself out that way, but you might have to go, oh, if we don't get this guy now, we're not getting him.
The Vikings, the Vikings too, they have 24 and then they have 57.
Yeah.
Seattle, you remember Seattle, like for years they would draft a guy and you'd be like, what? I think Seattle's another, they have like 18 and 50.
Yeah, so they might, if they don't trade back, they might have to. Oh, hey, look.
You might see some of these teams, yeah. Like Washington, 29 and 61. They might draft a guy at 29, but they could have drafted him at 40, but because they don't have a pick till 61. You know what I mean? Like, It's one thing that, if you're not really thinking about it, that's something that can also be put in perspective.
Yeah, for sure. I
just got this.
Sixers medical staff.
Good. Oh man! So they draft. They won't know what's going.
Better than that.
It's a whole new world here.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Because Commies fans have every right to feel good. You finally are relevant.
Oh boy!
You're finally relevant.
Press is claiming you won $2 million. Press messaged me.
I'd quit right now.
Press said he asked me, "What is Matt doing on the show today?" He won $2 million last night, and then he sends me this thing from the Pat McAfee show. So I don't even know what the hell.
I'd love to win $2 million, but Washington's in the honeymoon period with the jerk off.
Oh, yo, this is like.
So my doppelganger?
Yes, and he's wearing an Eagles jersey.
Let's go. That's awesome.
He's wearing a Hurts jersey too.
I love it. I wish that was me, though. I'd love to win $2 million.
I was wondering what the hell he was like, oh, what Matt doing? And he sends you the video, and I clicked on it. So, oh, that's definitely the Matt doppelganger. Not what I expected to see.
Washington's in the honeymoon phase with Josh Harris. I just can't wait. I can't wait. And I know. Oh, we got the GM. Oh, he built the Warriors. Oh, my God. Yeah, guess what? It's not fucking basketball, bro. The football is an entirely different game. And he lost fucking 55 to 22 in the NFC title game. And now you don't have a fourth place schedule anymore. So good fucking luck. But Josh Harris, everything looks hunky-dory the first 2 years, 3 years. Then guess what? Then you're sitting here going, oh, wait, look at our basketball team. Look at the New Jersey Devils. Look at the soccer team he owns. Suck, suck, suck. So you're in the honeymoon phase. I can't wait until they're all about Peters. Congratulations. You can sign guys on one-year contracts and win 10 games. Woo! Oh my God, we made the playoffs! Yay! I can't wait till week 13 this year. Washington's 6-7, and did we think? Oh my God, we thought we were so good, and now look at us. Oh, we're third place in the division. Oh my God. I support my commie friends. Because they've dealt with a lot of shit. And I know when you go from Dan Snyder, a fucking blind dog, or Helen Keller owning the team would be better than fucking Dan Snyder. So, but I'm telling you, as someone that drank the Josh Harris Kool-Aid and is now suffering from it, you damn right, Tommy. You damn right. But as someone that drank the Josh Harris Kool-Aid, it fades quickly. It fades quickly.
If they had the Sixers medical staff, Jaden Daniels would have like a broken
just
fingernail.
put Jaden Daniels in a bubble until the season starts, because God forbid he gets hurt. They're not going to know. They're not going to tell you what the injury is. They'll tell you, oh, he hurt his pinky, and then you'll be like, oh, wait, he tore every damn ligament in his hand, and he needs surgery. Why is he out for weeks? Oh, no, he's only going to miss 1 week. He's week to week, but probably looking like 1 week. Then you're going to sit there 5 weeks later and go, whatever happened to our quarterback? Oh, then the story will come out. Then I don't know who your Joe Santaliquido or
there we go.
Or your ink-stained wretch is, but they'll find something, and then you'll be like, "What the hell's going on? I thought everything was cool."
Ink-stained wretch, fucking Marcus Hayes.
And then you swear off the sport and the team, and you just don't give two shits.
And then they win by 30.
And then they win, but it didn't hurt their lottery odds, so it's okay.
No.
But guess what? The league hates your team anyway, so you're not going to get the number 1 pick no matter what. So it don't matter. That's how it is. Even though they hate your team for doing it, but they love the other team that's doing it, that did it.
Yeah.
They love that team. They absolutely love that team. But they ruined what you were doing.
Yeah.
I hate the NBA. That's what it is.
You know, friend of the show, Eric Roman. Dude, he used to, like 15 years ago, Matt. All he used to say is every time that the NBA, when we used to do the Eric and Eric show, he used to say, when I would mention the NBA, he'd go, I hate the NBA. That was 15 years ago. He hated The NBA still fucking hates the NBA.
And I love basketball. I played basketball for freaking 15 years. I hate the NBA. Maybe I just hate the Sixers so much that it has really spurned a hatred for the NBA. But I'm going to check out some playoff basketball. Maybe
I was going to say, you have to do some soul searching. Maybe we can find some soul searching.
Is it really what the soul searching would be? Be to burn down that damn building and trade the whole roster away. Bye-bye, Joel. Bye-bye, Tyrese. I would never root for Washington and never root for Boston. The Red Sox suck. The Commies suck. The Wizards suck. The Orioles suck.
Oh, man, you just... And I saw a certain Oriole fan was going... Here's
the only problem with college basketball. College basketball sucks, too. I watched 5 minutes of college basketball this year. I watched half of the second half of Florida versus Tennessee in the SEC tournament. And I messaged Kress. I know Kress has been on this too. But I messaged Kress and said, I think Florida's going to win the national title. Bang, bang, guess what they did? Yeah, I can watch 5 minutes of basketball and know who's going to win the damn title. That's horrible. The tournament was horrible until the end. Because guess what? Your mid-majors are dead. Your Cinderellas are dead. It's all dead. And guess what? If it wants to be the top teams, that's totally fine. But
yeah, you don't have that no more. You don't have the mid-majors.
You don't have the mid-majors anymore. Then they had another tournament, the Captain Tour, or whatever the hell it's called, that Villanova lost to Nebraska, which is hilarious. But college basketball is in a bad place. The NBA takes these kids 5 years to develop, which I guess is okay because they're coming out at 19 because no one stays in college anymore. But the Cinderellas are dead. The mid-majors are dead. Players just transfer all the time.
Whoa, what the... Is Matt about to get attacked by the cat?
Basketball is not the sport that I loved. And then you get basketball. The Nuggets firing the head coach 5 games before the season ends. The NIL needs a salary cap. It's a wild world out there. Kids should get paid because those schools make bank.
Yeah.
They make bank.
They shouldn't be getting in trouble for having a cheeseburger.
No.
You got anything else you want to get into?
I don't think so.
Just stay tuned with the channel. We should be doing a mock draft here in a couple days. I don't know when that's going to be, but just stay tuned to the channel, Inside Eagles Redzone podcast. If you want to check out the video version of the pod, go to twitch.tv/ITRZpod. If you're in the Pennsylvania area, come on out to Country Club Brewery on Sunday, April 27th from 11:30 to 1. Check us out. We'll be doing a live draft recap show.
With drugs. No.
What?
We're doing it all. Live from the brewery. We need more people to come out.
Show up or show the fuck out. Show the fuck up.
Oh, actually, Eric, there is one thing I need to talk about because we talked about it off air. And there's certain Canadians not here, but he'll listen to it. You guys are going to do multiple cheesesteaks. You start with the shit steak first. Talk about the tour spots.
EP was told about this right after.
EP, thank you for having some freaking knowledge.
No. She did not have the knowledge.
She did not
have the knowledge.
You start. No.
You had the knowledge.
Yes. So Jay and I have done this, but this is what you do. You start with the tour spots. They are the baseline. And this is with anything. This is why if you go to Chicago, you go to the two chain deep dish spots.
The first cheesesteak was what? Wait.
You start there. Your first cheesesteak in Philly was Tony Luke's?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was the one.
Yes,
of
course. That's another. Tony Luke is a chain. He's got fucking 4 restaurants, and it's at the ballpark. EP,
it was horrible. It was horrible.
Come on, horrible. You don't eat a cheesesteak at the ballpark if you want it to be good. You guys are not far from Philadelphia. This should not be happening. But why you start with the tourist spots is because... I mean, dude, it's fucking meat and cheese. I love a cheesesteak, but it's not difficult to make. It's not difficult. It's nothing elaborate. Deep dish pizza, just like Chicago, deep dish pizza fucking sucks. It's cool. It's cool to have it once, but it's not pizza. It's fucking pie.
Chicago. Fuck Chicago.
It's pie, and let's see. Go to Cincinnati. Skyline chili. Fucking horrible. Skyline chili is fucking horrible. It's chili on top of spaghetti noodles. Fucking horrible. New York, they love the deli sandwiches, the freaking pastrami sandwiches. Guess what? Horrible. You can go to a deli and get a fucking half pound of pastrami and make a great sandwich. You don't need to go to New York. Or in New York, they want you to go to a bodega and get a bacon, egg, and cheese with salt, pepper, ketchup. Oh my God, guess what? I got 100,000 places I could do that here. New York pizza pretty good though. But you start at the tourist spots because it is the baseline. It's what everyone expects. So you start there. Then you go to all the spots where people that go to the city all the time, have eaten in the city all the time, they tell you to go. Because that's a better experience. You don't start with the gem and end with the dud. This motherfucker ate his first cheesesteak at Hooters. He don't know what it is. But this is why you go. You start...
Yo, Tommy just got booed.
No, he didn't get booed. He tried to mute Chris, but he doesn't have privileges.
Oh, he tried to mute Chris. Oh, okay.
But that's why you start at the bottom. Like, Chris, you guys are going to go to Philadelphia. You're going to go to Pat's or Gino's. This is the tourist spot. Oh, my God. Oh, I love Pat's or Gino's. It's going to be the worst steak you have that day. So you start there. Then you go to the other spots. So Cress can go, I had this. This is what a mediocre as shit Philly cheesesteak is. Then you're going to take them to Joe's or Angelo's or anywhere else, Jim's, Steve's, wherever. And he's going to be like, holy shit, like this is a cheesesteak. This is why people like it. If you took him to Pat's Gino's last, he has this, oh my God, cheesesteaks are so good. They're so good. And he's going to go to Pat's and Gino's and be like, ew, I hate this.
Unless you go from a good cheesesteak, unless you go from a good cheesesteak place to another good cheese. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like if you go to Angelo's and then you go to Joe's. Or Joe's and Angelo's.
Or,
you know what I mean?
Dude, I'm telling you, go to start at Pat's and Gino's. You can go to Steve's. You can go to Joe's. It really depends what part of the city you want to go to and what you want to do. Also, if you're down by Penn's Landing, go to Franklin Fountain. It's great ice cream. It's made like it was back in like the 1800s. It's legit. It's fantastic. The best ice cream.
He's a big ice cream fan. He's a big ice cream fan. So
it's not soft serve. It's your
hard.
It's your hard. Whatever normal ice cream, it's not soft serve.
No, I like hard. I don't like this fucking soft. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, by Penn's Landing is Franklin Fountain. It's fantastic. You will love it. You will love your cheesesteaks other than Pat's or Gino's. If Pat's or Gino's is your favorite, then I understand why you love Montana's so much.
What? No, he doesn't like Montanas. He fucking hates going to Montanas.
Then he will
hates
not
going to
like
Montana.
Pasagenos the most. That's what we did when Buck and our boy Sherm was up here. Jay and I took him to Pasagenos first. Then we went to Steve's. Then we went to Joe's. And they were able to relate. Oh, okay, this is the baseline. And then bam, bam, this is what? Bam. Everyone was happy. We also took them to the Philly Pretzel Factory and got them a pretzel dog. They love the pretzel dog. Pretzel dog, good item. But that's it. That's all I got.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Next time you'll hear us will be for the draft episode. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the preview of these prospects. Again, if you missed any of them, go back in the download and listen to any of them. But Matt, you got anything else to plug?
No. I ain't got a damn thing. I got nothing. Right. Come to Wawa. Go to Giants.
You want to promote?
Go to Wawa.
There'd be a bunch of Wawas, Matt. You'd have to promote the
Wawa. There's a lot of Giants, too.
I don't promote it.
I just go to Wawa. Don't come see me.
Oh, don't come see me. All right, so that's the answer. Don't come see you.
I'm doing trash or I'm filling the cooler. You're not seeing me anyway.
Cheer him on. Cheer him on.
Cheer me
Cheer
on.
Him on.
Go
Let's
get
go,
that trash.
Matt.
Get that trash.
Get that trash. Put a Washington jersey in that fucking trash bag. We're out of here.
Light the trash can on fire.
Let's go. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise ain't